Hello, starting a little early. Welcome to Laura's Painted Minis. I am Laura. Tonight we're gonna work on, in case you couldn't tell, is getting a start on this terrain, scattered terrain. It's from the Elven Woods Encounters set. So a couple of Kickstarters ago. Also, I just posted a link in there about a mini that I have up for sale on eBay. That is this guy. A little closer view of him. It was my entry for the most recent Reaper Paint Challenge. There you have it. I did decide to do kind of like a crystal crystal bladed staff. I thought that was kind of cool. That would be fun. So there you go. If you like them, kind of hard to get just to focus. There's some, I think, better pictures maybe up on the eBay link there. So if you like them, go and get a bid going. I think there's a couple days left. So yeah, go and click watch or just go ahead and bid on it right away if you like it and want it. Anyway, tonight, so this will zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. These are big chunks of sprues. Let's see what we get done tonight. I'm gonna try and do I think just one piece at a time, and I'm gonna try out and see how just doing a quick wipe down with dipping my paper towel in my clean paint water. It's not, there's no paint has gone into it, but it is my paint cup. And then wiping it down with the wet paper towel and see if that is enough to get rid of any of the stuff that's on it, mold release or whatever. I'll still prime it. Get the fake one going first. And then while that kind of once I do that, I'll let it air dry a little bit. So I'll probably go and start another one. Yeah, I'll go and start another one to let this air dry once I get it wiped down. And then I will, when it seems like this one is dry from the water, then I'll try priming it and see if that just wiping it down was enough. I normally would, like, after I clean off the flashings and stuff, I normally would go and like sit it with something this big. I would just fill up like the bathroom sink with like warm soapy water. I do not advise everyone. I'm going to say it now. I don't advise you using a craft knife like this. This is just what I do. I used to work in culinary, so I'm just kind of used to using knives. So, yeah, used to figuring out ways to do it safely, I guess is more of what I'm getting at. And definitely would not recommend most people doing it this way. Let's see. That's kind of an awkward place. This would probably be a better way if you are going to use a knife. Get a nice cutting mat and use the mat as much as possible. Because also that's kind of some awkward places. So it's not just flat. It's a little concave here. Also, I have my question of the day, or, question of the stream. However you want to call it, or whatever you want to call it. Decided to start a little early because I was ready and didn't see any reason why to wait like another 5 minutes. I don't know if there's any mold lines on this. I'm trying to tell. Do not see any. So that was it. That's how all these are. Then it's gonna be real quick. These cut off and cleaned. I thought about adding a teeny bit of isopropyl rubbing alcohol to the water, but I also thought that I might end up actually doing some priming tonight, and that would be what I would use to rinse my paint brush. So that wouldn't be great if I did that. Alright, I'm going to set that off to the side. Let's see if this works. It's a little bit of an experiment. I'm sure there's probably people out there who are saying like, nope, that's not going to work. I'm also a little less picky, I feel like, when it comes to priming or not priming, how I prep minis. That doesn't want to come off. So yeah, my mindset is get the paint to stick to the mini. I'm well aware of chemicals sometimes being on them, like mold release, which keeps the paint from sticking, which is why I've learned to usually clean the miniatures in a warm soapy water. I usually will just take the hand soap that's in the bathroom and do it right there. If it's a small enough mini, I'll just fill this up with warm soapy water and kind of shake it around a few times, rinse it out a few times. This one's really difficult. And then it depends on the material and who I get minis from as well. If I actually go and prime. If it's metal, I will definitely prime, no matter what. Because that needs priming, no matter who you are, no matter what your take is on priming. Speaking of metal, that is the question of the day. Do you prefer metal minis, and why? So if you have some thoughts on that, or opinion on that, go ahead and chime in and chat. I'm always interested and curious about. So I feel like that is something that is some people have really strong opinions on. And I'm always kind of curious, like, why? I clipped too much off there, or cut too much off. I don't have a strong preference on it. I mean, I only started painting, it's gonna probably gonna roll your eyes, but I started in 2020. It was kind of late 2020 that I actually, like the second half. I'm sure there's a lot of people that joined that year because, you know, we were all stuck inside. I initially started because my husband and I were going to start getting into D&D. And I had kind of a fun idea to try and find kind of a mini that I thought sort of looked like him a little bit, or at least what he would be maybe as a character, and painted it up to kind of look like him. And then we actually got into a campaign, and he ended up DMing because that was basically the only way at the time that we were going to be able to get into a D&D group, because there wasn't any other group that had just like, that had a couple spots open, like all the other groups we knew were really full. But we had found a couple other friends who were kind of in a similar spot and wanting to just give it a try. And they were friends, so that was also fun. That's still what. So then there was sort of a need for more minis for us to actually own, because all of us were new to D&D, so none of us had a stockpile of minis. Was initially both my husband and I kind of painting things and stuff. He just wasn't like as interested in it though. It was more of like a necessity. But I actually was really interested in it. I'd grown up and grown up, I mean like in high school. I would go out to this shop in the country and paint ceramic figurines or statues, so to speak. Different things. I did a big wolf statue. Like it was like a mama wolf and her pups. Did lighthouse once. Did a big teddy bear statue. I did some some smaller ones that are Halloween decorations. Yeah. And the person who owned the shop was really talented. Tell she had a lot of experience painting ceramics and was able to learn some things from her. Then I came to Ames for college, and the ceramic shops here are basically more of just they were nothing like the ceramic shop. They were more kind of, I don't know if the right word would be kitschy. I don't know. It was basically cups and plates where people were just like painting glazes on them, and then they'd fire them, and then yeah, you could use them in your kitchen. Wasn't like something like a statue or so that was kind of disappointing. And then fast forward to 15 years. 14. It would be more like, yeah, that's close. 14, 15 years after that was 2020 when I discovered miniatures and painting miniatures. I was like, sweet, this is something that's similar to when I was painting ceramics. Or at least, it's a similar medium, so to speak. I mean, in between there, I was doing canvas paintings. So that's still painting. But it's a different medium. It's 2D. So very different in some of the ways that I think about things. And yet, there's also a lot of similarities too. I might try and wipe this first one dry with a dry paper towel. So I would like to actually get to experimenting with putting primer on this and seeing if this is a reliable, quick and dirty method to clean off any chemicals, whatnot. So that would be nice to be able to get these primed, do more than just cutting them off the spruce. These are really cool. I don't know if you noticed in the very beginning when I had the eBay mini sitting on here, but they made it so that you can, like, you can see that they made it so that there's ways to actually set your mini on here, and they're not going to just topple over. So it's actually usable. So that was how I got into Dungeons and Lasers. uh, that was my that hooked me in on that. And I backed their caves, their recent caves crown. I don't know what to call it. I mean, it's like a Kickstarter, but they didn't do it on Kickstarter this time. They did it on, I think it was on BackerKit or GameFound. Um, I accidentally scratched it with the knife. I think it would kind of get that a little bit. And there's still a little bit of water, you can tell, on some of the deeper crevices. I'm not as worried about that. Just want to make sure that I've got most of it in case that's also got some of the chemicals still left behind. Okay. We'll give this a shot, see how it works. Gonna need a lot more than that, but that's fine. That's what I use. Let's see how this works. Yeah, not great. I so I've had to do this where I've gone on and decided to just go for it or I've just completely forgotten to wash the mini. And the best thing to do, well, one, if you're not able to just dunk it in some water and completely wipe it clean of primer, just keep going. Some of it will take too many. It's not ideal, and you will have to go over it a lot more, but some of it will take, and as long as you're not leaving it gooped on in one spot, like keeping an eye out for any places where it's kind of glooping up, so to speak. It's not going to ruin the details. I'm sure there's some of you out there who would be horrified to see me doing this. And I don't care. I'm still going to be able to get the mini painted, and when it's done, you're not going to know. Okay, yeah. I think pretty clear that's not going to work. Oops. So, this will just be a clipping and cleaning stream, I guess. So I know what I'm doing. After the stream, I'm going to take all these over to the bathroom sink, do what I talked about, see how many of these I can get to fit in there, and probably leave them overnight. Actually, could also just put them in the bathtub. The bathtub in there, we don't really use much. It's one of those corner bathtubs, so it seems like a really cool and great idea, and it seems like it's extra space. It seems like it's bigger, and it is deeper than a standard tub, but it takes up so much space. It's just like, I could have a really big shower there instead. Instead, I have a really tiny shower, which is what we use the most. And it is not going to be worth it being a manufactured home, aka mobile home. It's not going to be worth it to put that much money into the bathroom. At the moment, we're just putting money into fixing things that the previous owners DIY'd, because they did it quick and wrong in most cases. My husband would say in every case. But we haven't checked every single piece of their work. So that's why I say in most cases. But my husband is probably right. It is probably every case. Since I'm not gonna be able, since that quick and dirty washing didn't work, I'm just cutting them all off right away, and then I will go and clean the flashings, or whatever they're called. I am excited to finally get to these cut off. These are super cool. I keep feeling like this one has another one stuck in it. This seems thicker to me. I was thinking about whether or not to do the new Reaper Paint Challenge. It's another elf mini, and it does look pretty cool. It's got like this bird on its staff, or I think it's the staff maybe, or on its shoulder, or something. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't remember. I remember there's the bird with it. So being in a way, it would probably make the most sense to be like a wizard or a warlock. Whereas a spellcaster that is stereotypically has a familiar. Thick one. I think the sales due date would be August, because they do 90 days each time they start one. They stopped calling them quarterlies. Because they wanted to have some more, my understanding from what they were saying is they want to have more flexibility with it, especially if like someone, because the person who wins gets to pick what the next mini is based on, like, they get a certain catalog of like choices, what they can choose from. I imagine so that they don't end up picking something that's like insanely expensive or huge. It's easy for most people to be able to join in on it. And so sometimes that can mean that they're waiting for a week or a month for that person to get back to them and choose. But I'm really kind of busy, like, trying to get some things ready for some one shots, I think. My church has our tabletop role-playing weekend. And I'm helping plan it with a few others. And I did realize that same weekend, I think, that ReaperCon is. So, if I ever go to ReaperCon, I'm gonna have to determine that, like, well, I mean, I guess I would have to determine that at the beginning of the year anyway. But I would have to definitely determine that at the beginning of the year, or we would just need to move it to a different day. And, well, different weekend. Because we do it like on a Friday night and then finish all day. That's Saturday, that weekend that we do it. And so we're doing it on August 30th and 31st. Assuming something doesn't come up in the meantime. I am going to DM 2 or 3 one-shots. I think it will be definitely fun. Be able to have these painted up and ready to use. And then I have other minis too for very specific one-shot. I got these on Etsy. I don't know if you can see them. It's, you know, like kind of Ninja Warriors. Like 3 different ones. They're actually pretty good for being an Etsy purchase. There's another Etsy one on the way for the main villain for that one. And then I just had to reorder the Mammoth mount for that same one shot. Specifically a Mammoth that has one of those boxes on top of them that I can then set the mini in. And there's seen one particular elephant mount design that I like a lot. And thankfully multiple shops have a license to print and sell it. It's just that they are not all priced the same. And the original one that I tried, their printer broke down apparently. So here, set in my button. Back to Etsy search engine to find another shop that had it. The one shot that these would be great for is one that I'm homebrewing. The Ninja Warrior one that I got off of, I want to say it was Rune Foundry. But I'm doing also then homebrewing my own. that I'll probably use in future years as well. Maybe tweak some things. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I get enough people to play it. Be able to run it. But it is, as I said what it is, and seeing what it is. So it's based on the Harry Potter Triwizard Tournament, specifically the very last one. And so they'll be in a sort of maze, and thankfully I just got an access code for Neverending Story, or Neverending Story, Neverending Dungeon. Ugh. That's a good movie though, Neverending Story. A great 80s movie. So I can use that to create a printout, create a map and print it out. And then I can use these on it for some more 3D stuff. Make it look fancy. I'm kind of thinking if, so this is actually the second round of that mini that's up on eBay that's with the on the eBay link there, relisted. I know it's kind of a different color scheme than what some people would be interested in. It's very muted. I know a lot of people right now probably have it because they just did it. But we'll see how it goes sometime. If it doesn't sell, then I'll keep it, and that can be used for possible wizard mini for that one shot. We've got lots of other minis though, so I'm not worried about whether or not we have minis. Plus, I'm kind of guessing that sometime in the next month, I'll be getting, or I'm hoping in the next month or two, I'll be getting a email from Maper about Button 6. But I guess we'll see. If those last few shipments come like right at ReaperCon, then it's, or right in July and August, I kind of doubt get much done. So they're going to be full on ReaperCon at that point, I think. There would certainly be time if it came in August. It's like the beginning of August for me to do a quick paint of underneath. I feel like there's something from that that would just work perfectly. I don't remember. I got it's the first Reaper Kickstarter I've been able to join on, and so we did the core set, and then 3 of the expansion ones, and then a few of the power-ups. So, I don't know, I don't remember what all is on there. I remember liking most everything. I mean, the bugs stuff, I'm not as certain about what we'll use it for. So, we're probably gonna get to painting them. Might be one of those things where, unless like my husband is really excited about figuring out how to use them, I might consider just putting them up on eBay. Got plenty of other minis to paint. I haven't really been paying attention to how long it's taking me to clean any one of these. I'll still probably go till like 9:30, even though I did start a little bit early. And then I was back and forth between doing this or doing some green stuff on these guys because I had accidentally knocked them over when they were in the process of gluing. So, and then I just didn't. Kind of was frustrated at that point and didn't even go and try and like fix the pinning before the glue cured. So there's some gaps. Yeah, because it's too far away. So most of them need some gap filling. I thought about doing it on screen, and then I decided that kind of one of those things I like to be able to just zen out, so to speak. I don't want to be, not necessarily want to be having to talk or paint, thinking about like if, some check every now and then, like, make sure I'm either on screen or see if someone said hello or asked a question. Or answered my question of the day. I don't remember if I actually finished answering, but I don't have a preference on metal minis or not. I guess that's why I started going into how I when and how I got into mini painting. So I kind of jumped in basically right when resin sculpts were starting to get better quality, from my understanding, from what other people have heard other people talk about. And also metal starting to get more expensive, and so companies are moving away from that. Exception of Dark Sword. I think that that's kind of my understanding. That's their bread and butter, and so they're sticking with it. Just means that their prices are probably going to be going up if they haven't already. I'd be interested in getting a Dark Sword mini at some point. So, I mean, I'm not against metal minis. I just don't have that attachment to it, like maybe some people do, because they've been around and that was what they were used to. I know there are some people who do just honestly believe that they're better. That's what you think. I'm not going to try and tell you otherwise. You can keep buying metal minis all you want. If you're going to try and say, like, resin isn't any good, then I might fight you on that. Because I have painted some metal minis. And there's some resin now that's better quality, better detail, cleaner detail. Some of that might also be in the scaling too. So there's that too. Yeah. I think it's funny to see in different forums, like there's people complaining about freaking out and complaining about some minis that aren't big enough according to what they were expecting with the scale that was stated. And then there's in a completely different forum, a different group, there's people complaining about how big the minis are getting, scaling up, scale creep, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not. It's kind of another thing that I think it's a little silly. But although if I had a preference, it would be I do like the scale creep. who likes it, but I'm not gonna like go and complain about some minis that aren't doing the skill creep, basically. Or maybe they're a little inconsistent in their own line at first. They're a good company to listen to what their customers are saying and wanting that they want. If it's not gonna like blow the budget, then they'll do it. But I do prefer minis that are more 32 millimeters scale. It's at that scale where if something is really detailed or has some fun details, then you actually can. There's actually enough room to, like, once they're printed, you can actually still see the details really clearly. And it's also going to be enough space for most painters to be able to paint instead of just the ones who can do a bunch of fine lines and have like the same insane amount of brush control. I mean, basically those really smaller scale models, you have to have some better brush control. So I've been hard at work, just kind of got this motivation to do some work on let's call it like the Tri-Wizard one-shot. Tri-Wizard tournament. It's kind of interesting. So I'm using, I would have to look it up to see who it is. And there's actually also have like multiple artists helping them or have done stuff for them. But it's, I think they call it Wands and Wizards. I think I'm going to be breaking my blade. So they've created a bunch of rules and stats and such to do an adaptation. So adapt 5e rules of Dungeons and Dragons to Harry Potter. To make a Harry Potter role-playing, tabletop role-playing game. But they actually use a sorcerer. But then the subclasses, and they call them races. So the races are the actual houses. And they include like Bowbuns and Durmstrang and the American houses. And then the class is like, if I'm remembering correctly, is the casting style. Okay, just look. Yeah. And then the subclass is the School of Magic that you like, specialize in. And we've got like 6 different schools, pretty much. And then like they've made up their own backgrounds, and then with the backgrounds you can kind of basically figure out your wand type, what your wand is, and your Patronus, and they've got some special stats for monsters. So yeah, there's some things like they don't have. They don't have everything like figured out in the adaptation, but it's a lot. I feel like that they do have, and I mean, they even have. Someone even was able to like create a tweaked character sheet, so it had all the things that you would need to fill in that were different from like a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet and whatnot. It's been fun. It's also been a lot of time because they don't have things organized the greatest for creating characters. So it's taking a while, but I'm almost done. Anyway, that is going to conclude tonight. I think by next week I'll be back with the knolls. Um, Painting the knolls. By then I should have these gaps filled in. You can kind of see it. There's a little gap. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do just yet. I might just make it look like there's another armor piece on this side. Make it look a little asymmetrical. Yeah, in the meantime, come check me out on my Instagram and see updates of what I'm doing each night. I do um, do some work just about at least 5 nights out of the week, one of them being the live stream tonight. So yeah, you'll be able, if you check me out on my Instagram or my Facebook, you'll be able to probably see some pictures of these after they've been worked on with some green stuff. So yeah, and trying to think what is next. Is next week the June? We'll look at that. Yeah. So I will probably not be on next week because that next weekend, I believe it is, my husband and I are celebrating his birthday. So I will not be on, but then I believe I will be back the week after that. So, however, I will do a YouTube video this week, and hopefully also get some, if you're on my Patreon, get a PDF up to for the accompany the video that I did earlier this month. But otherwise, if I will see you in 2 weeks. Hope you have a good weekend, and yeah, do some painting.